Hi Scorpio, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to my channel. I'm Shandra Lynn, and this is going to be your mid-August general reading. It's non-time specific, so whenever it resonates, and please remember it is general, so take it how it resonates with you in your life and your situations and your experiences, and discard all the rest. So last week I had recorded a reading for you, and I was in the process of uploading your reading actually when we had a severe thunderstorm come in and lightning struck our transformer. So we were out of power until later that night when most of the storm had passed and they were able to come out and get it fixed. And then it had also struck our internet line and all that good stuff too, so that actually just got fixed yesterday. It was about almost a week of my kids going absolutely crazy from withdrawals. Yeah, it was crazy. So with that being said, your reading last week was kind of like Mr. Rock, Mr. Hard Place, like you were stuck between a rock and a hard place. It was a reading for what you think you know, what is really going on, and what and if anything you should do about it. So there we go. Ooh. Underneath you got Tsunami with Wake Up Call. Okay, so we'll get into it a little bit more, because while I was kind of just pulling in on your energy, it seemed to be a lot less, if you're still in between a rock and a hard spot, which it kind of seems like you are with the Tsunami card coming up for your higher self, which is the Tower card. But this activation, what is... This is definitely a different reading than than what you think you know what is going on and what, if anything, you should do about it. Okay. Okay, so this has to do with the closeout of the cosmic year cycle. It has to do with like the closing of the Lionsgate portal and everything. I don't really put a lot of my intention or my focus there. I'm more of like, oh, I'm in the garden and look at that pretty flower kind of energy. So, but I'm being told that this is, so there came a closeout. Hey, baby. Come here. So, okay, so with the closeout of this cycle, it's like a new, so, okay, school-wise, like if you could take this metaphorically and, you know, wherever it goes, it's like the school year was finished and you're done with it. And in a sense, now you're waiting on your new schedule, figuring out, like, in a sense, what your new class is, what new things you're going to be working with, right? But what I'm being told is that you're only going to be, so that's kind of what this activation card is. It's like a blow. You have, okay, so you have, at least in the last cycle, like really progressed. Like you really did some kind of growth in some way. So this activation card is saying, like, you know, it's time to let yourself go on to like bigger, better things. You're able to take on more knowledge and be able to comprehend this new knowledge, right? So there's this blow of, you know, pushing you into that new beginning. And you got the stone people and you got vigilance with the stone people. So in a sense, this is really like I'm seeing a bunch of different perspectives, like a full circle here. So this is for you as well, because it's like there's this blow, right? There's this blow coming in, but what I'm being told is that you have the choice to hold on to any of the old, right? But if you're holding on and you're like refusing to let go of like this piece of equipment, then there's no room for you to use the new equipment or the better equipment. And so there's this sense of like, just take a deep breath and just like surrender and let go. Just like you have almost, in a sense, you have no idea what your schedule is going to look like, metaphorically speaking. And the more you allow yourself to stay open, the more of the things that you are, it's like you went into it to learn this because you want to be really good at this, right? And you want to be able to use the tools and everything that go with being as good as being up here. So you are actually being blown that way because you've gotten really good, like, you know, you've mastered, and you're going up. And every step of the way up, it's like you have to, it's in a sense having, like, if you let go and you surrender, then there are no tools, right, in this experience, right? Like, okay, even though I have this great skill, I'm unable to perform it without these tools. And so there's that fear based of, well, I better just hold on to it just in case. I better just hold on to it just in case. And it's almost like you have to have open arms to accept whatever is coming. If you're holding on to something, it's almost like it's going to pass you right by because you have no space for what's going to come in. All right. Also, so that's one perspective. I really hope that resonated. The next perspective is saying no to that which you know you have moved beyond. Like, there is no need for you to take a certain class again if you've already mastered and aced it, right? So you do need to stay strong, and you do need to keep your own vigilance of making sure that you say no to that which you have already conquered, mastered, yada, 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 succeeded in. And also, with the activation, it's like these stones in another perspective are popping up to show me like somebody like, hey, where do you think you're going? Like, you need to come this way with me because this person already got their schedule or something. And so they want you to follow them. But you're like, dude, I'm like, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going yet because I haven't, received my schedule yet. And so, in a sense, it's almost like there's a fear. Some of these stones getting in your way and being like, hey, come this way, come this way. There's a sense of fear because there's already a knowing to this energy that where you are, if you allow yourself to, just let it come to you, that you're going to be in the advanced section. All right. And there's this fear of having no access to you, Scorpio. Like, if you choose to wait for what is really coming to you, then you're leveling up, and they have already received their schedule and are already aware that they did not do the work, they did not complete and they've chosen to do the new cycle. So it's almost in a sense of trying to emotionally manipulate you into staying with them as they go through this cycle again. But you really to see it, then you got the Milky Way for perspective, right? So this is another good way, because even I'm getting like there's this stomach churning feeling of fear now coming from you, Scorpio, of honestly recognizing like, yeah, there will be difficult access, right? But I'm feeling like that rock in that hard spot reading that I was picking up last week has to do with this as well. It's almost like it's draining, it's tiring, it's unstimulating to you to continue into this cycle with whatever this is. It's like you recognize now that you've pushed like you've outgrown it, but there's still this sense of obligation, of loyalty, of responsibility in a sense to like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just go with you in this cycle again and hold your hand. The perspective that they would like for you to see, for whoever this resonates for, is if you choose to stay, like, I mean, because right now, like, I know for some, like, yes, there's already that stern choice of, yep, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna level up. There are some that are already like, yep, I'm gonna go through this cycle again, even if there's an awareness of choosing to step into that lower cycle again. But for some of you, this is the part of you really choosing to become aware and really choosing to have that self-awareness and have that control, and in choosing where you will direct your energy and time in your life, right? So if you are to basically go and hold hands again and just kind of like, be bored and drained and, just in that lower energy again, they're still not going to pass it. It's almost like you're so good at that cycle. Like, it's just like, you're exhausted and tired and you just really don't give a shit, but you're still going through the cycle so good that it's automatically doing it for others as well. So if you choose to allow that energy to blow you where you are intended to go, this energy that you love, that I'm getting this like gut churning feeling for, if it is a connection that they will not have your crutching energy or your enabling energy, if that makes sense. Oh man. Yeah, if you really want to help them, you have to leave them. If you really want to help them, you have to choose you, and you have to choose to accept that, like, you're just can't help it if you're that, amazing. Okay, so with the wake-up call, it's almost like if you're choosing to hold hands again, imagine a tsunami coming in, and you're like, well, I'm gonna hug this lamppost, right? That's kind of the energy. Like, that wave is gonna freaking, like, yeah, it's gonna mess with you. But if you choose to just kind of like surrender, instead of it knocking you around, it will literally just carry you to where you need to go. Yeah, let's get an ancestor and angel and guide message, please, for Scorpio. Allow yourself to accept your level. There we go. Shaman, trust in higher forces. Dang, Scorpio, you guys are doing awesome. This really feels this really feels almost like an initiation journey, quest, pilgrimage kind of energy in a sense. I'm picking up on this like great, it is so new and it is so foreign. That you're not sure if that stomach churning feeling is the feeling of like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go and do me. And there's that, you know, that maybe like, scared to leave this energy behind. But this is really like, okay, there is this great sense of angst about choosing your energy because it feels, it feels very spiritual. It feels very, yeah, it feels, it feels like an awakening. That's what it feels like. Um, Holy, yeah. So, okay. So, for those of you that this is resonating like with an awakening in a spiritual, metaphysical, paranormal kind of way, I'm just going to say it's going to be okay. You're not going batshit crazy. And, yeah, that you can reach out to me. Um, yeah. You can reach out. There's so many amazing souls that already have so much amazing information to help. And I would just say, like, they to help bring in clarification and confirmation to energies that you should already be picking up on. And with that, yeah, all the information's below. Thank you so much for joining me, because I'm gonna leave it at that. And I hope this helps you. And thank you for the likes and the subscribes and for the donations. And I will see you guys next week.